Hi, I'm Mary McNutt. I'm a PhD candidate in health science, focused in neuroscience, neurocardiology, and I want to talk about information from the HeartMath Institute, an organization in science and medicine based out of Boulder Creek, Colorado, founded in 1991. And they study a lot of stress management, a lot of neurophysics, neuroscience, learning all about how our neural networks work and the hormonal systems and having our heart in coherence with our brain, in coherence with our pulse rates and all of our major organs becoming coherent with one another. So we run like a fine-tuned vehicle. I am the founder of the Health, Wealth, and Happiness Clinic, as well as a CPA firm, so Mary McNutt CPA PLLC, and so I prepare taxes from that business within that business, and I'm intimately involved in people's financial information and stress related to finance and career anxieties. So I've combined my background as a CPA and an MBA, helping people reinvent their careers or invent their careers based on their passion. And also as a CPA, I prepare tax returns, federal, state, city, whatever people need, counties. And then I have a nonprofit, Lift Others Up, and it's the branch of the same services, just done through funding and granting, and every penny goes toward teaching Native Americans to reinvent their careers. I live in Washington State, where we have 29 federally recognized tribal nations, and I live very close to a lot of them. I'm also married to a tribal member, and we have a child who's a tribal member, and I have a stepson who's a tribal member through blood relative, and of course my in-laws. So I'm very interested in helping a group of people who have high rates of depression, suicide, alcoholism, addictions, horrible unemployment rates compared to any other group. Maybe that's an extreme word, but the highest rates, and according to the CDC and other centers that collect Bureau of Labor Statistics and various internet resources. So the HeartMath Institute is an organization studying the effects of stress on our hormonal systems, on our heart health, on our mental health, all of our psychophysiological systems, and how we can have our stress managed so we can run efficiently and really enjoy our lives and our health. These tools and techniques we can teach, help you and me, I'm a student and a teacher, manage our stress in easy ways, and eventually become much less habitually stressed about all the teeny little things throughout the day and the things we think about and the concerns we may or may not have. So anyway, I'm going to make a little introduction here about HeartMath Institute and their quick coherence technique in this particular video. So I want to first introduce the concept of stress so that we all recognize it in the same term, and I use it to describe the wear and tear on our bodies and how these experiences every day cause different reactions. Maybe we have a change in our living, like we live in a new neighborhood, we've changed jobs, we've changed relationships, maybe with someone close to us or ourselves have experienced an illness or diagnosed with something, a life-threatening disease. Maybe there's injury, any kind of career or lifestyle change. Maybe you're struggling with financial anxiety. So anyway, those are the types of stress that I think about when I describe stress in this little video. I want to talk about how it affects your health. Stress affects people physically, mentally, and emotionally. And as the HeartMath Institute teaches us, I am a certified health practitioner, intervention practitioner through the HeartMath certification program for doctors and psychiatrists, and I'm doing my final research to finish my PhD in stress management and consciousness education related to financial and career anxiety. So the certifications with HeartMath help me to really understand this neuroscience and our cardiology health and all of our different systems intimately at the quantum level and at the just very cellular level, subatomic particles, all parts of our biology. Okay, so what we understand, stress is just the wear and tear on our bodies, the constant thoughts about the past or the future, and if those chronic thinking patterns are repeated day after day after day and left unchecked, we may become so accustomed to them that we don't even recognize that we're what I would phrase chronically stressed, because if you're stressed 50% of your conscious time, that you're, if you look at a day or a week or a month and you ask yourself, what percentage of that time was I stressed or in a depleting feeling, so I'm draining my energy, or what percentage of that time was I in a renewal phase where I'm positive and feeling good in my body and feeling clear-minded and motivated. Okay, so there's, according to the American Institute, I'm looking at a few little notes from the HeartMath Institute certification program, and it's they say that 90% of all health problems are related to stress. And I also want to quote Dr. Robert Holden out of his book Happiness Now, and of the years and decades that he's met with patients, he claims that among him and his cohorts, they find that stress is underneath every disease, that all the different diseases and outcomes like heart disease, mental disease, biological diseases, diabetes, cancers, strokes, all the different things that you could have go in your body, those all can be labeled different things and look very different on the surface, but underneath it all, there's a common denominator of chronic stress. So that's where my studies and focus in health science and stress management benefit me and my clients. I've had lots of stressful times and financial challenges. My husband and I invested in some rental properties at a time right before the Great Recession of 2008 and 9, and our properties did not go in the direction we had intended when we purchased them. And I had a big walk of turning my thoughts around and not guilting myself over feeling horrible for not knowing more about the bubble that was about to burst with the rental properties and such. So ultimately I had to teach myself to become more prosperity conscious, how to not fear money, because those investments took us down and financially, and we needed to just start seeing the light so that we could keep our health while we tried to reclaim our financial stability and freedom. And a side note on that, I'm not interested in whether you want to try and have $1 billion or just be able to pay your bills with ease. That's up to what's important to you. I don't judge it either way. The more money people put into the economy, the better we're all off. So I celebrate very wealthy people, and I celebrate very minimalist people who can get by on nothing or next to nothing. I equally respect all walks of life, such as those choices, as long as it doesn't cause harm to anyone else, however you live. If you, well, I could go into another subject, but I'll focus here. So, how can you tell if you're stressed or not? I have a little 5-bullet quick test for you from the HeartMath, and then after we do this, we'll just go into that 2-step quick coherence, eyes wide open, breathing, thinking positive thought technique. We'll go more into that right after we do this little test out loud. So, how stressed are you? Everyone responds to stress differently. So let's take this test and see if you're experiencing stress. I'm going to ask you how much stress you feel through these items by asking you how many of these you agree with. Do you feel overly tired or fatigued? That's just a yes or no. Are you often nervous or anxious or depressed? Yes or no. Do you have sleep problems? Yes or no. Do you have repeated headaches or just minor aches, consistent minor aches throughout your body, and minor pains or substantial pains like backaches, just chronic backaches? Yes or no. Do you worry about your job, your finances, or your relationships? Yes or no. Those are 5 main areas where people can reflect on the level of stress they're experiencing. Obviously, the more you relate to any of those 5 or all of those 5, the more you want to love yourself enough to start practicing some of these fun, easy techniques to lower your stress levels. So, what can we do about it if we're stressed? Well, HeartMath teaches us, health intervention practitioners, that it's not the events or situations that do the harm, but rather how we respond to those events. I think you'd agree. Can you think of some things that cause stress for you? And just hold those in your awareness, and we're going to try and clear those out in some freeze frame techniques I'll talk about also here in the little quick coherence technique. We'll have a few other videos to bring this HeartMath information and stress management to fruition through many different clips here. So it's more precisely not just how we respond to the events, but how you feel in your body that determines whether you are stressed. If you are sitting in traffic and you feel irritated or frustrated or angry or raged, then obviously you're stressed. If you feel peaceful and maybe you take an opportunity to find a good station to hear a great song, or you just breathe, to stop and breathe while you're in traffic, then, or you just recognize that's part of your journey you've selected for yourself, and so there you are in the traffic, maybe day after day. So if you just say, hey, I might go an hour early and grab a cup of coffee while I'm there before the rush hour starts, that's a much more stress-free way to get to the same destination, as opposed to some unfortunate stress levels that are common on freeways and other tiny stressors. Opening your email and feeling bombarded, having too many people need your help when you're overwhelmed with your own list of things you need to do. Yeah. So, anyway, so the HeartMath goes on to say that emotions or feelings have a powerful impact on the human body. Positive emotions like appreciation, care, and love not only feel good, they truly are good for you. They help your body's systems synchronize and work better. Just like a well-tuned car, your different major organs in your body have to each run like you have pistons in a car, you have radiators, you have, where was I going with that? Pistons, radiator, engine, tires, all different parts, starters, batteries, all the different parts of a car. If any one of those systems is not functioning, say the radiator's low in water or the battery's out of not regenerating and storing electricity energy, then you're not going to be able to continue driving. All the other parts will stop working when a major organ goes down in the car, so to speak. We want to make sure that we don't do that within our own biology or psychology, because any part of us that's not running efficiently can create more stress on other parts of the body, and eventually that's where we're not at ease and we end up with a dis-ease. And so we can prevent diseases if we do the practices, if we follow also these beautiful tools that HeartMath Institute has, these little biofeedback tools that allow you to see your heart rate variability, your pulse, monitor yourself and your stress levels. They're so easy to use, but they're filled with years and years and years of research and scientific experiments and testing hypotheses and trying out these interventions and over and over again finding people's health improving, their wealth improving by changing their mind quickly, by learning these quick, easy tools. Okay, so here we go. At the Research Institute of HeartMath, they've shown that when you intentionally shift to a positive emotion, you're consciously noticing it feels icky because you're stressing about something that happened yesterday, or you're going to do it tomorrow, or oh, I have so much to do, or that's still future thinking. And so you feel that, and if you intentionally shift out of that, we'll teach you how in this 2-step quick coherence in a second, and I'm sure you already have some wonderful practices for yourself. If you intentionally shift to a positive emotion, HeartMath Institute says, your heart rhythms immediately change, and we can see that on our monitors. This shift in heart rhythm creates a favorable cascade of neural, hormonal, and biochemical events that benefit the entire body. The effects are both immediate and long-lasting. When you're stressed, your body's out of sync. So if you look at a heart pattern on the monitor, an EKG or ECG, German or English, same word, echocardiogram, if you're frustrated or angry or stressed in any way, it looks like an earthquake is being monitored on the screen. Where if you're in a renewal energy that feels hopeful and clear-minded and loving and compassionate, forgiving and peaceful, and just all the things that make you feel more just like you're running well, health-wise, mentally, psychophysiologically, that's a nice in sync rhythm you'll see. And your heart rate variability we'll talk about in other videos, but right now we're going to get to the quick coherence, and the goal of all of this is to try and get your systems throughout your biology, your mental systems, your heart rhythms, your neural network patterns, your electromagnetic field you're generating with every single heartbeat and every brain pulse. We want to get those to be as efficient and as high vibrating, so the frequency goes up in the energy field you generate, the frequency goes up in the magnetic field you generate. Every pulse, 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 fields, fields, fields. You're sending out, broadcasting out messages from your body. It's measurable. HeartMath Institute has measured 10 feet away the effects of your changing moods in the field of energy 10 feet away from you, and they just haven't made cords longer than that I'm aware of, or they'd probably measure it even further away. Okay, so how can we practice this physiological coherence? Well, the HeartMath system introduces you to a powerful tool that increases your physiological coherence. It's called the quick coherence technique. And in your daily life, to reduce the effects of stress, and use the M-Wave technology with your computer, or you can use the inner balance technology with your phone and an app. It's super easy and fun. You can build a little vision board in there, or just watch some meditation ball go up and down, or different beautiful pictures. So it's really easy to look at, and it helps you breathe calmly and think of things that are more positive than the worrisome thought you may have been having a moment ago. So we're getting down to this quick coherence technique. Again, it's only 2 steps. It goes like this. You touch your sternum where your heart center is. You breathe slowly and comfortably, maybe about 5 or 6 breaths per minute, in and out from your heart center. And then you find an easy rhythm, and in the step 2 is you try to consciously generate a feeling of appreciation. I personally use a fluffy kitty because I have no stories except joy with that. It's really easy to picture a fluffy kitty. If you sometimes think of some thing like love or God or your child or something, there may be some other thoughts attached to that that are a little distracting. So fluffy kitty to me is just non-distracting and always easy to go to no matter what kind of stress I'm in. So I'm going to tell you an example. I'm driving down the road. I've got rush hour traffic coming up, and I'm like, oh no, the traffic again. So I can just kind of hear my voice. You start noticing, you hear your voice out loud or silently thinking negatively, like, oh, I hate traffic or something. And that's time for a quick coherence. Your eyes are wide open. You breathe from your heart. You might keep your hands on the steering wheel, or if you can have one hand free while you're sitting there in traffic, you can touch your sternum, because where energy goes, the mind flows. So you focus on your heart. Pretend as if you're breathing in and out from your heart center. In for a count of 5, out for a count of 5, or just whatever comfortable pace for you, just so it feels easy, fun. Eyes wide open because you're driving down the road, or you're about to go into a meeting, or you're sitting in a meeting and you just want a quick coherence out of the stressful thought you're having. You can do this right silently while you're in the middle of a stressful situation. No one else has to even know you're doing it. Just breathing. Eyes are open. You're just focused on your heart breathing. You're not thinking about anything else for a moment. A fluffy kitty, or a flower, or attitude of gratitude, an easy reinvention, something that's easy for you. Frame on a beach, a photo of it. Don't think about a whole story, just a frame. Okay, that's it. And do it again and again. We'll eventually do another technique like that. But you add another step that's titled the freeze frame technique, and we'll teach that in another video. Overall, I want you to remember that all it takes are 2 steps. Well, 3 first you become aware that you're stressful, whether you feel palpitations or sweaty or grip or tense. You just start noticing when you're stressed, and then you just breathe from your heart. You're trying to just get to neutral. Don't think about the stressful thing. keep your being able to drive, of course. Stay safe. Think of a fluffy kitty. Right? And just keep practicing and practicing, and then when you're faced with the stressful moments, you're more likely to use that tool in your belt. Isn't that fun? Fun and easy. So you can find my information at easyreinvention.com. I'm again Mary McNutt, PhD candidate and soon to be PhD, finishing my research, testing consciousness education and stress management related to financial and career anxieties, where we teach our participants to reinvent their career, use some of these HeartMath tools, and test to see how well their stress is managed and their health is improved and their lifestyle is improved. So if you want to know more about that, easyreinvention.com. If you need help with taxes, marymcnutt.com, or sorry, mcnuttcpa.com. And if you can see this, those are referenced on my little sign here, and I'll end with sharing with you this. As you improve, little by little, the way you feel about money, this emphasis on feel, doors will open. Ideas will occur to you. People and circumstances will present opportunities to you. Attract more with positive vibrations. Mary McNutt. That's a quote by me. Ha ha ha. Lift up an attitude of gratitude and prosperity consciousness are our focus. Lifting others up is our nonprofit arm. If you know of any Native tribal members seeking help with career reinvention, get a hold of me. Lift Others Up. We Lift Others Up.org or any of these. Just look for Mary McNutt. I'm out there on the Google sphere. And soon to release my career book, 11 Steps to Easy Career Reinvention. But I'll tell you more about that in the link below. Thank you. Quick Coherence. A eyes wide open. 3 times a day for 21 days. I challenge you to love yourself enough to go for it. Have a great day.